game you guys won. In the opener a couple weeks ago, the day before you retired, you were kicking trash cans. Yesterday, to me, it looked as if you were kicking butt.
I had fun yesterday, you know, to be able to come back and play in a very low-pressure situation where I knew things were intact and things were sound. And Kellen Winslow's career is going to be here in San Diego, and I just went out and played like a kid.
10 catches, 146 yards.
I've had better days, but I'm sure there are a lot of people who would take that day.
What about Houston? Let's take a look at the tape and the highlights. And they had a lot of trouble. They're still in their rebuilding program.
They did. They're a young ball club. They've got about 32 guys on their team that have 4 years or less of experience. This is the first play of the game here. We're just trying to get the first down, came up a little short. And here's Ernest Jackson, who just had a great game for us. You know, he's not going to make people forget Chuck Muncie, but he's going to do well.
He really turns up the field well. When he's up the field running, he's running hard.
He does. Ernest doesn't waste any time making a decision where he's going to go with the football. He gets it, and he goes with it right there. He made a real quick cut, and, you know, that's kind of impressive. You see a young guy like that come in and is able to do things well and doing real well.
93 yards. You said the other day that Ernest would have to come through and play well, and he did.
He sure did. I mean, he really added a dimension to our running game. There's Pete Johnson going in. I know I would not want to tackle Pete Johnson.
Yeah. This came on a blitz. Now, Houston didn't blitz all that much. Not as much as you thought they might.
Well, we didn't. At first, we thought they might come after us, but after the first quarter, we realized they were not going to, because that has a lot to do with Dan Fouts. A lot of respect for him and his ability to pick up the blitz and get rid of the football real quick.
This was, I think, fourth quarter, set up the Rolf Benerschke field goal. It came right after this pass, which was a little bit prior. Nice catch, Kellen.
Well, you know, that's what I got a raising thing to do.
That was one of the nicer catches you've made.
So far this year, yeah.
You know, when you look at the schedule, you look at teams like Minnesota, you look at Houston, that's a game you should have won. You're sitting here 2-1 in pretty good shape, but you can't be too happy about that game. You can be, because you won, you played well, and everybody played well. But it's
What we set out to do was shut off their running game. Earl's more or less he's not an outside runner. If we could shut off their inside game, we thought that we could, you know, dictate the type of defense we wanted to play.
I'm just worried about the wins. You know, if the performance comes good, it comes good. If not, as long as we get a win, that's all that matters with me.
Well, we're right where we want to be after last week. You know, we wanted to win this game. We'd rather be 3-0, but that can't be the case anymore. The Houston Oilers were in front of both teams they played in the first 2 games of the year, the Raiders and the Colts. So offensively, they've showed some good signs, and they're by no means an underdeveloped or a bad offensive football team. So I think we can consider ourselves doing a good job today. And the problem is we can't pat ourselves on the back too much and let it slide into next week, because we've got a better offensive team, and we got to get jacked up for these guys.
Silver anniversary season, and we thought we would go back to the year 1963. It was the year the Chargers won the AFL title, and their quarterback was an old guy by the name of Tobin Rotes. If you try and pinpoint any one single reason for the Chargers' success in 1963, you'll find it nearly impossible. Was it the high-powered offense? The bone-crushing defense led by Dick Harris, Earl Faison, and Emil Karras? Or perhaps it was Sid Gilman's creative genius? Well, according to the man who ran the show on the field, quarterback Tobin Rote, any of the above is correct.
Well, we ran the same thing that they're running now, pretty much. We ran the I formation and the 2 setbacks. We used some stuff that they haven't used yet. We used some quick motion, which got some of the teams off balance quite quick, and we snapped the ball as the back first started moving. It looked like backfield motion, but he's going parallel. Like they send the flanker backs in motion today, we sent the setbacks in motion on a quick count and snap the ball. We get that middle linebacker moving on us and snap the ball, and we hit some quick traps and some quick pop plays, and we had great runners, and Keith Lincoln and Paul Lowe. And Lance Allworth was my wide receiver, one of them, and Don Norton, and they're both great receivers. And, you know, we had some big ball players. We had Ernie Ladd and Earl Faison. I tell you, those 2 big studs, they were some of the biggest guys I'd ever played with. And this guy, Ron Mix, number 74 there, he was one heck of a tackle. He could outrun most of our backs. He'd pull out around that end, and I guarantee you he's down there cutting at safeties.
Throughout the history of sports, athletes and teams from different eras have always been compared. So why not the '63 Chargers? How would they stack up against the recent Super Bowl champs?
Well, I think we would go to the Super Bowl with with them because it was a hard-nosed team, and there's a real classy type organization we had, and I think we would beat them, I think. Well, I think we could have held our own. The great thing that I like about football back then was there was only 33 players on a team, and everybody participated and everybody played. Now,
I'll tell you something. I played on the 71 Super Bowl for Dallas, and I honestly feel like that our 63 team could have beaten them. And I say that because we had more talent. And I would have given anything to have had a shot at Chicago, I think, to win it that year, because I don't think they could have handled it.
Offensive tackle Ernie Wright was a mainstay of that championship team, and he agrees they were a great football club. But he says that was 1963, and like everything else, the times have changed.
That's a different era, and it's impossible. It's good barroom talk, but I think about every 10-year cycle, the clubs on a whole are better. The players are bigger, stronger, faster. The whole bit, they're more scientific. I remember we used to work out probably 6 or 8 months a year. The guys now work out 11, 12 months a year, and that makes them better athletes.
It takes guts to redesign one of the world's most popular cars. Introducing Toyota Corolla Reborn. This family sedan was reborn to please you with more comfort. Reborn to please your family with more room. Reborn to please anyone with its mileage and affordability. The 1984 front-wheel drive Toyota Corolla. Reborn to please the world.
Hello, everybody. Dwayne Dow at Winslow Television Network Control, and now we're going to match up the Holiday Bowl. What thrills this game has provided for the nation's football fans in recent years. Who can forget the tremendous comeback that Brigham Young made, scoring 3 touchdowns a few years ago in the final 2.5 minutes to catch Southern Methodist and win by 1 point at the wire. Here's what's going to happen tonight. Brigham Young is back, and first a look at the Cougars in their battle with Missouri tonight. Perhaps the most famous aspect of the Brigham Young team on offense, the passing of the quarterback, Steve Young. With Young, the 9th-ranked Cougars have a new NCAA record for total offense per game. They're averaging an incredible 584 yards a game. Young owns at least 20 national records, including 71% on pass completions. He personally has accounted for 41 touchdowns this season.
And you didn't expect it from these two football teams. Young gets the ball, and there is Stennett. Stennett's going to score a touchdown. Brigham Young! 32-yard scoring. Throw annual Holiday Bowl. Its third quarter is all over. Brigham Young leads by the score of 14-7. And Missouri's quarterback and punter, Marlon Adler, on the sidelines with a sprained ankle. And let's see how close it is. It is BYU's ball. And Steve Young and company, with less than 4 minutes to go, have a chance to come back and take the lead or tie. Seconds left, 3rd down 1. And down he goes, and the ball is lost. I believe that he had an incomplete pass, but it depends on how the officials call it. Out is 4th and 10 to go, so they ruled it a fumble and a recovery back at the 25-yard line. I didn't see Brigham Young man recover it, however, but that's the only logical way it could have been called. Left back, who scored on a touchdown. 25 yards, 37 seconds to go, 4th down. Barring a penalty or a first down, this is the last play of the game for BYU. And they trail 17-14. Young, the All-American, back and throws, and as his man Hamilton, first down out of 31 seconds, first down, ball at the 15-yard line. Young, here's the flea flicker play, and it's picked up by Young, and he's going to score! There's the play that they pulled out, that Lavelle Edwards said they had, with 23 seconds to go.
And we got a remarkable throw. The play was not badly defensed.
Penalty marker down, hold on. Missouri remains in a goal line setup, and it's against BYU. 17, 23 seconds to go, and you can see there Young would